Okay, ladies and gentlemen and ladies and gents, it's going to take an hour for me to put together two videos. One, 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And the reason why is because I had to restart the computer. And the second one, 17 minutes, totaling roughly about 25 minutes. Uh, I'd listen to it because, especially the last 16 minutes, yeah, definitely want to listen to the last 16 minutes, especially if you got a mortgage. Okay. Now, as I said in that video, and as I said in the earlier video, there is a lot about me people think they know, but they don't know. So let me go ahead and explain something to you. I spoke earlier this morning that come on now, created this website for you guys. We go here. Home. Oh, it's home on the range where the deer and the antelope. I ain't never seen no deer and antelope playing. Oh, well, seldom is heard a discouraging word. What planet are you living under? It's discouraging words all the way, all the time. Lord have mercy. I want to go to that world where there's not a discouraging world. Oh, oh well. Ladies and gentlemen, this site was created for you. I would definitely review the site, go over the information, because this information is accurate. This information is not my opinion. This information is Congress's opinion, because Congress got a whole lot of talking that they doing. Y'all might want to catch up on what the facts are. Now, I done showed y'all the facts. I done showed y'all our stupid, uh, what is it, documents from the United States Congress. When they did their investigation, they called it an investigation. Now, we created this for you all. Now, this app right here, hold on. Give me some light. Give me a beat. Sorry. What? Janet Jackson. Y'all don't remember that? Because she's in control? Anyway, uh, Rhythm Nation. Come on, y'all remember. Come on now. Y'all, everybody was listening to Rhythm Nation. Come on. Get with it. All right, anyway. We are a, hey, we are a part of a Rhythm Nation. Okay, Rhythm Nation. Y'all know, yeah, I know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So stop pretending. Okay, ain't no future in it. MC Breed, ladies and gentlemen, this is for you all. This is for you all to go about your accounting. Yay! Spent a lot of time on this. This app right here cost me $100 just putting this together. Now, hold on now. This took several months because I created the app originally, and then I updated it, and then today I said, no, let me go ahead and do it right. Now, I can't promise you that everything's going to work, but I did go through it, and 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 I kept going through it to make sure it worked. So my hope is that it's going to work like it's supposed to. You feel me? All right. And then I decided to do some explaining how the app works, why the app is, what's for is what. Now, you have journals. You got to do your journal entries, ladies and gentlemen. What? Because you have to have records. Do you not understand? That's what this is for. This is your accounting ledger. This is your records that you have to keep. Ah, you guys got to get with the program. If you don't have records, what are you doing this for? Okay. So if you have a sole proprietorship, and everybody has a sole proprietorship, even a 1 month old baby has a sole proprietorship. If you have a sole proprietorship, yes, you can create sole proprietorships for your children. Why not? Your children are allowed to work. Child labor is legal. Talk to China and Walmart and Amazon and Macy's. Child labor is legal. So set up a sole proprietorship for your child. Write off their debts. You feel me? Sorry, like I said, I was splicing together that video. It's done. I'll take care of it later. Choo choo! Anyway, so when you take care of your chitlins and you get their credits done and you do their credits right, when they become adults, they're not in debt especially with taxes. Shh, don't tell nobody. What? What? Nobody else told you that before. I know I'm the first. But remember, it doesn't get talked about until it's talked about here first. Don't take my word for it. Go back and look. The stuff I talk about, nobody's talking about before I talk about it. Go ahead, I dare you. Go ahead, I dare you. Go find it. Go find a video that was talking about it before me. The only person I can give that credit to is Patrick Devine. Patrick Devine did a money order 2 years before I did mine. And I only did the money order because I realized that I always go to the foundation. I always go to where it started. Well, Britain started the money order. The post office did. That's why you keep hearing about postal money orders. It's unregulated. They can't regulate it because the government, did not create it. Now, they'll say, well, we created regulations because Congress created regulations because they consider it commerce. No, it's not commerce, Congress. Congress can only regulate commerce amongst the states. Doesn't matter what the courts interpret it to mean. The people wrote the Constitution. Y'all need to really get up on game. Congress only has authority to regulate commerce because they cannot go beyond what is written. Did you remember Paul saying never go beyond what is written? Well, the courts have the same maxim. If you don't believe me, go read Henry Schein versus Archer and White Cells 2019. Although it was a case dealing with arbitration, a unanimous decision by the Supreme Court says that the courts must go by the written text of Congress. Says that the courts do not have the jurisdiction or the power to overturn an act that the president signed and Congress enacted into law. That's the so-called March 1933 Act, what this whole website is about. That's what they were referring to. If you don't mind, go back and look and read. Now, although that was the premise for, pay attention, that was the premise for what Congress and the president did in 1933, because it was a two-thirds majority. Now, what you didn't know, it wasn't a two-thirds majority. It was a three-fourths majority, because the president did it as president of the United States and commander-in-chief. So it was a three-fourths majority. Ta-da! The way the law works, they don't invent it. Congress can only regulate commerce amongst the several states, not within, amongst, betwixt the several states. Indian tribes, not Indian nations. It does not say Indian nations. We are a part of an Indian nation. Okay, so not Indian nations, but Indian tribes and foreign nations. Ta-da! That's the only thing Congress can regulate. They say, well, it's interstate commerce. That's why they call it interstate commerce, between states. But Congress has no jurisdiction over commerce once whatever the commerce product was reaches into private hands. Just like Congress claiming that interstate commerce gives us control over all guns. That's a lie. And they know it. But pay attention. They can't have you guys knowing that. Once it is no longer in interstate commerce, Congress has no jurisdiction over it. Shh. Don't tell them that because they still stupid. Okay, they think they control everything because they think they got the power. Hey, whoa. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting kind of heavy, ain't it? Accounts receivables, AR. You got to document your accounts receivables, and you guys got to learn what type of receivables they are. So I want you to focus on asset receivables. Now, pay attention. Financial receivables. You understand what I'm saying? Focus on those two. I didn't do the research that I told you guys about. Cash equivalent. Because financial receivables are cash equivalent receivables. Shh, don't tell nobody. It's a secret. You're not supposed to know that. And then accounts payable. You definitely need to know what accounts payables are. Okay? You need to know. Ta-da! Now, this is your accounting ledger about consolidated and intercompany eliminations. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1120. Consolidated corporations, hey, it's explaining everything, what you need, what you don't need. Now, it's not everything, it's just the most essentials. Then you got to have a statement. You cannot do this without a statement. Okay, now here's the point I need you to understand. You attach this to the statement that the IRS provides. Okay, you don't do your own statements. Many of y'all been creating your own statements. IRS will slow your paperwork down. You do your own statement. Oh, go talk to them. They'll tell you. All right, now the tax filings. I told you we're gonna do. Well, let's do 1040 ES. The 1040 ES. What it does is it gives you every line. What goes on every line, not every line, but the major lines that you need to fill out. Do 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 do. There you go. But that's not a lot of lines because you don't have to fill out every line on the 1040 ES. It's a simple document. Now, I didn't give you all a coupon. Use the coupon in their document. See, look at that. It gives you your quarters. Ta-da! You can create your own bill of exchange to go with this. Hey, Chris' video is still up there on my channel. I ain't never met Chris, but he tells you how to fill the form out. And like I said, not endorsing the back because that's not in the instructions from the IRS. But everything else he says is in the instructions from the IRS. So just follow instructions, people. Ta-da! Again, this website was created for you guys. Now, let's take a trip over here. This is our memoriam. It is technically it's very important that you guys sign this because we're talking about the age of the majority. You see, I've been trying to figure out a way of getting you recognized as having attained the age of the majority. If you read this document, this is about the age of the majority. Let's see that. Wake up. Age of the majority. Stop listening. It takes a second for it to catch up because I just turned it on and I just opened this app. So it's got to connect with the app and talk to the app and say, hey, what up, app? And the app's got to say, look here, fool, I ain't got time for you. Oh, no, you got to have time for you because he's about to get on your nerves just like he's getting on mine. You feel me? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I had stopped at the actual paragraph and didn't even know it. You see, that's how it works. We talked about them sovereign citizens. Now, what this does is it gives the government reversionary interests because we're dealing with the Trading with the Enemy Act. So it gives them reversionary interest of 3% of your securities held in your minor account because it announces the fact that you have attained the age of the majority. What this says is that each of these accounts at 3% is more than enough to fund the organization for a period of 20 years. If such cannot be ran by any of the, and such cannot be ran by any of the so-called modern corporations due to corruption, fraud, and disingenuousness thereof. So we petition the body to allow the TTOPP, the Threat Outbreak Preparedness Program. Told you it was created for a purpose. Website's been sitting there the whole time. Don't believe me? Watch this. TTOPP.o back RG. Top! The acronym is TOP. The Threat Outbreak Preparedness Program. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, since 2013, that organization has been being prepared. I'm not nothing but patient, because I learned a lot from the so-called wannabes, because they're very patient. They'll let 100 years go by putting together a plan, and you guys will know none the wiser. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you don't realize is we bring up, this lets you know the rules for the House and the Senate, why we get to do this. Go ahead and take a look at it, please. The House rule, and the Senate rule, why this gets to happen, and why they are bound by it. Now, I want you to pay attention. We're asking, let me do it this way. Wake up. Wake up. Freedmen. Bureau. Stop listening. Yeah, now it wants to just be stupid, taking its time. I ain't got no time. Ladies and gentlemen, the Freedmen Bureau has never been Let me get rid of the Freedmen right there. Let's just do Bureau. Let's see, Freedmen's Bureau. Ladies and gentlemen, the Freedmen's Bureau is part of the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Now, most of you don't understand. You think civil rights only apply to persons of color. That's not it. Civil Rights Act wasn't for persons of color. It was for every person in the United States. That's where deprivation of rights under color of law comes from. Okay, no one has the right to violate anyone's rights. And Congress admitted to violating your rights. But you can't go to the district court because they're not operating in their proper capacity. So what are you doing? You're going to Congress and you say, no, no, I need access to the official court. Ta-da! Be it further enacted, the Attorney General, the Marshals, and Deputy Marshals of the United States, the Commissioners appointed by the Circuit and Territorial Courts of the United States. Then it says, and agents of the Freedmen's Bureau. The Freedmen's Bureau was never terminated, was never canceled. They just stopped funding it. So we are voluntarily offering 3% of reversionary interest to fund it and to have the members of TTOPP operate as members of that bureau, to be empowered to do so. Why? How come nobody's done this so far? The freedmen have never, ever been terminated. Some of you, it's going to take you a while to understand what's going on here. Federal officers have a non-discretionary duty to institute proceedings against violators. The Freedmen's Bureau has never been abolished, was not suspended. The provisions of the act never revoked. It's just that Congress chose not to fund them anymore. So Congress doesn't have to fund it. We'll fund it. Just keep the rules in place. Pay attention. Keep the rules in place. See, they can't refuse this. They have to process it. Sorry. Give them their rules. So when you take the time to read it, you'll see that this is not a joke. It's not no sovereign citizen anything. We're using the law. We're using their rules. We're using the way things are supposed to be to get things done. This was done for you guys. This wasn't done for me. Okay? Just so that you know it. And how many signatures do we have? 182? Yeah, we got to get that up to 1,000. And so those of you who are watching, if you haven't signed it, why not? It's not going to kill you. This is not a protest. This is a petition for redress. Now, I've done a lot of things, but you don't see me usually doing something like this. Now, oh, the lawsuit, the appeal is still going. They'll probably make a decision sometime the middle of this year. Normally, an appeal takes 2 to 3 years, but they will make a decision on this one because there's nothing to deliberate. And if they decide, and I've already told them, if they decide to ignore the rules and the laws, then I will take them under the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Do you understand, everyone? I don't think you get it. The Civil Rights Act of 1866 is outside of administrative jurisdiction. See, the administrative courts started, pay attention, in the 1900s. The Civil Rights Act of 1866 was prior to that administrative stupidity. So the courts were only operating in a constitutional capacity. Civil Rights Act of 1866 recognizes common law. Go back and read it. Like I said, I'm not a joke. This was a plan. Now, as we said right here, we call it legal studio. This is where, come on, you get to create your own legal documents. Type it up, print it up. Woohoo! There you go. You get to save it and so forth. There you go. Have a good job. We're going to enhance this. I'm not finished with it yet. So right now it's just a Word doc that you get to enhance and take care of and all of that stuff. So I got more work to do to this, so bear with me. Let's see what we got, what we look like picture. Nah, see, I gotta correct this because it's not supposed to have that. So I got some work to do to this. So I just understand it's a work in progress. I don't know who's progressing it, but I will fix this more than likely by Sunday. I have a consult tomorrow and I want to work on the new program. The website is up. You cannot click on anything. If you want to know what the new site is, watch the next video. It will tell you about the new site and so forth. Again, now that one is to benefit y'all. All right. And then this one, CPSA. What does CPSA stand for? Oh, this is the CPSA. This is the legal document. See, comprehensive legal document. Duh. Okay, and then when you get a chance, read over the. Uh-oh, it ain't clicking. Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to check that link because that's supposed to be clicking. So, well, I got to do that document anyway, so I will check that link when I get to that document. All right, ladies and gentlemen, many of you do not get it, so let me show you something about this document here. This is a trust agreement. That's why you have it private foundational trust organization. That's why it has a bond number. This is a trust agreement. You become parties to the trust agreement automatically. Now, look, you're just a beneficiary. You're just a beneficiary. You don't waive any rights. You don't give up any rights. You're just a beneficiary. Okay? There are benefits that come with it, so you're just going to have to wait. All of our SAP pack members, they understand what benefits are because they're constantly receiving benefits. And, yeah, what else are you giving out? What else? What else do we get? Lord have mercy. So take a look at it, go over it, understand it. Okay? Now, it is arbitration, but it is a common law arbitration. Not that common law that they created, but the common law that's mentioned in the Seventh Amendment, which is the laws associated with the colonies or the states, the laws of the community, the local community, what the Supreme Court referred to as the common community. Don't take my word for it. Go and look up the phrase. All right. Again, the fourth video I've done on this, trying to show you all that this was done for you. This was not done for us, so to speak. Now you have this. I'm leaving it like this on purpose. So let me show you. Let me show you. You see this right here and that right there. Okay, two menus. Yay, terms and conditions. We're already there. Terms and conditions. We're already there. Terms and conditions. Oh, yeah. So sorry because I didn't want to lose the ability of having this be the drop down menu and operate the way it is. So I left it the way it was and just added the top portion here on purpose. And I sorry, but I did that because I didn't want to see it change because I like the Starry Nights. So this is the effort behind the effort. And you must understand, this one was done from scratch. I didn't use an app to do this website. Okay. Now, when I say from scratch, you just got to understand it. So that's why I'm not tweaking it too much, but I will get that document fixed and I will incorporate some other things into that document so that document works so that you can add things, add other items to the document. I already have several that I've worked on that I'm going to incorporate. And I'll probably, like I said, by Sunday, I'll probably take care of that and it'll be uploaded. And I'll do a video letting you know it's uploaded and letting you see the features. This is you all's site. This is not my site. I'm doing this for you all. There you go. The information that'll be put on this site primarily will be free for the time being. Now, when I say free for the time being, unless I decide to bring a program to this site, right now, this is the only program. And you don't have to pay anything. I'm paying all the fees. I'm paying for service. I'm paying for everything. You don't have to pay nothing. Now, I could have sent it in already, but I said no, because if you ever look at Bradley Christopher Stark's, what he did. Now, Bradley Christopher Stark is incarcerated. And because he did what he did, his hands were tied from the very beginning. The attorney that was helping him, that was getting things done, didn't help a lot. So I'm going to do one more thing. Give me 1 second. Wake up. Stark. Stop listening. The petitioner issued a notice of change in terms of agreement, providing written notice, definition of opportunity to opt out, well, define opportunity to opt out, mandatory duty to respond, specified time limits, and arbitration clause governing disputes arising out of a fiduciary relationship. The courts are familiar with such a process because it adopted the Bradley Christopher Stark notification, which incorporated the arbitration clause of 2014. My bad. Well, because there was a contract with the Attorney General. But see, here's the thing. I can't help Bradley with this unless he asks me for my help, and he hasn't asked. I've reached out to him. He hasn't reached back. He has a contractual agreement. He has an arbitration agreement. Final thing, the next video will be up tomorrow because I'm too tired. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, and it's 7 o'clock now. So I just ate. I got the itis. I just ate, brought the cats inside, and I got the itis. So I'm about to go lay down, watch me a little bit of family business, the family business. I I'm watching the bootleg version of it, and it's all right. It's cheesy, but it's okay. I'm sorry. Without all of the junk, because I saw the regular version. I ain't watching that junk, but the one that's edited, I can handle that. Yeah, not my imagination ain't like it used to be, so I ain't got to worry about it going way left and right and all of that. But anyway, and then I'll work on one of the other episodes of finishing something that's worthwhile. It's 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start redressing stuff. Let's start getting things done. Let's start correcting the wrongs. You guys are sitting up here letting them change laws. Did you see what they're I can't talk about it. I apologize. I made a point that I'm not going to talk about any more of those so-called wannabe current events. They create the event and then they want us to focus on it. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to bite into that junk. So I'm going to stay away from that stupidity. All right, gotta go. You all definitely take care of yourselves. I just wanted to let you know about everything being up on my dated. Arrivederci.